Hi, Kylie here and welcome to my plan with me for March 2023. So we're going to have a little bit of fun this month because I've decided I'm doing a pop-up again for my title page. Now, if you're fairly new here, I do these very randomly, but this year I'm going to try to do them at least one every 3 months because A, I enjoy them, and B, they make my bullet journal more fun. So this is what we do. Now, I've just included a quick little thing of drawing the flowers and that I'm going to use for the pop-up. Just to basically talk about the pen that I'm using. So I've been playing around with this doing watercolour sort of patterns and everything and then drawing on it with white pens, gel pens. And I've used a range of different pens to do this, so including Posca markers and everything else. But honestly, I think that the Jelly Roll gel pens put the best amount of colour down. I never have to really go over anything unless I've actually put my hand on it and wiped it off. It really works very well, and it seems to go over anything that I ask it to go over, whereas some of the others they're just more finicky. So whatever the gel ink is in these Jelly Roll pens are great. And I have it in a few different colours and everything as well. But highly recommend, and they're very affordable. So highly recommend the Jelly Roll pens. Pop-ups. I did a pop-up online course, a Domestica one, a little while ago. And I just really enjoy the paper engineering side of making things move and making them look pretty. I have very limited sort of mechanisms that I can use in my bullet journal that won't create a lot of thickness to the bullet journal, because they always do, because it's just multiple amounts of paper that needs to be slightly thicker paper to actually make mechanisms work. So, there's that. So I have very limited sort of mechanisms and functions to be able to go through, but I enjoy doing them. And as you can see there, as I've flipped back and forth, I actually put this in at the end of the process. So the pop-up itself doesn't actually go in until I've finished drawing the rest of my bullet journal for the month, because it does create quite a lot of thickness and that makes it difficult to draw things. So I leave it till the end. So what I've done here is basically this little mechanism on the bottom allows you to put moving arms. So that's what the L shapes are. They're like little moving arms. And you can see the one I put at the back, that makes that group of flowers sort of go in behind that mechanism and then pop up from that mechanism. And then this one on the front basically makes whatever I stick on it will twist around. And so that's quite nice with the flower because you can see the pattern and it sort of twirls around. Now the problem is, and I've decided to leave all of this in so you can see the warts and all of it, is that I was overly ambitious with the size of that flower. And because of the size of the mechanism and where it sits on the page, it's always going to fall out off the side a little bit when I close it. So I changed it with one of the other flowers that I had, which is all perfectly fine and all works well. But there are a couple of other things with this page, and this is the bit where, I need to remind myself and maybe other people around me that this is my sketchbook. This is a place for me to play. There is nothing in here that needs to be perfect. It is my journal and my diary. It's not a space where I'm going through and capturing perfect art. It is a space to play. So the fact that I really hate the way this green background came out is something that I just need to get over and learn to accept. And the thing is, I know why I did the background in that way. I didn't want to put too much water on it because the Archer and Olive paper doesn't take a lot of water really well because it's not watercolour paper and, just all of those things. But yeah, it was irritating me a bit. And it's irritating me while I'm sort of, recording this voiceover on it. But hey, so the mechanism down the bottom, what that does is basically just pop something up off the page. So I decided that I'd put that little mechanism into the bottom so that I could make the blue flower still be there and pop up off the bottom of the page. And then a heap of the other flowers that I did basically are just being stuck onto the background. So they're not, they don't have a mechanism, they don't have anything, they're just there for the effect of creating, a bit of a garden. And they also help cover up the background that I'm not overly happy with, but that's the way life works. Oh, look, if you've been here long enough, you'll know my perfectionism is something that I consistently have to deal with. And I mean, at the end of the day, I created a pop-up. I like all the flowers that are in it, and the mechanisms work. Not as smoothly, that top mechanism, not as smoothly as I would like as well, but I learned something about the paper I was using, and so I won't make that mistake again. It's all good. Now, continuing with the theme of using music lyrics for my quotes this year, I'm using Van Morrison's Into the Mystic. So let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic. It's probably one of my favourite songs of his. I do love his Astral Weeks album in its entirety, but I don't really listen to any of those songs sort of separately. It's something that I listen to all as a one thing. Whereas Into the Mystic, I love and I listen to fairly regularly. So yeah, nice simple lyrics and a really simple design with only a few sort of elements to add a bit of, I guess, colour and movement into it as well. So we're in March. Well, we're not really yet because I've actually done the right thing and done this early. Yay! We're nearly in March. It's nearly the end of February, and February went as fast as February does. I hope that the beginning of the year is still going well for you and that you have had a nice February. And yeah, I've had a bit of a difficult one. We have an old puppy, Lily, and she's 12 and a half now, and she's actually had a few health things going on, and she effectively stopped eating for a little while, and we had lots of little scares and everything. But yeah, it turns out that she's perfectly healthy. She had a UTI. We managed to get that treated, got her back on some good pain meds for her arthritis, and she's perfectly fine. Well, I mean, she's not perfectly fine, but she's in pretty good health, and she's eating properly again now, which is a big thing. So yeah, that was pretty stressful for the month, but it's calmed down a lot and we're feeling a lot less stressed. So yeah, February's been a little bit of an adventure, and I haven't been very focused on the things that I should be doing, but I don't ever feel like I achieve all the things that I should be achieving anyway, and yeah, we'll just let that be. But this pattern, so you'll see that because the title page had a bit of floral in it, I've ended up sort of continuing a little bit of floral theme through the month. Not on every page. I've done a few other just sort of different patterns in different ways, but this flower, I'm really enjoying drawing. I've drawn it on a few different things now, and it's just really, it's nice and simple to draw, but it's got some dimension in it, and I quite like it. So, simple to draw, and I like looking at it. So it's a win-win, really. But yeah, nice and easy in that respect. So yeah, the layout, you'll see that I've pretty much kept that layout of putting all my tasks on my left-hand side and then putting the days of the week on the right-hand side. So I basically capture my appointments or things that actually have specific times and days of delivery around them. So I do put some of my deadlines over there as well. And then with the space that's left on those days, because there always is a lot of space left, I don't have a lot of meetings that I need to attend or those sorts of things, then that's space to do the journaling part of bullet journaling, of capturing, you know, what happened on that day, how did that go, anything that I want to keep a little reminder to myself about. And that's working quite well. So there's no need for me to change it because it seems to be functioning quite well. And yeah, it's been a nice change. The moving my mood tracker into a page is also working sort of really interestingly for me in how I'm tracking it. It is a lot easier for me to see how there might be sort of trends in my mood more easily than I could in the visual way I was doing it before. And look, anything that helps me maintain a better awareness about my mental health is a good thing. So we'll just leave that be. So yeah, I hope that whatever it is that you are doing or you've been doing in the first half of the year has been going well. We're in March, so we're in the sort of change of seasons. So for us, we'll start getting more brisk mornings and start heading into autumn. And of course, for the Northern Hemisphere, you're going to hopefully start warming up a little bit and heading into your spring, which I hope will be nice as well. This is just a last little lot of florals for the final setup page for my journal. So yeah, I hope that the rest of the year, or I hope that March continues to go well, or if your year has not been going well, as mine has been a little bit of a dodgy start, then I hope that it improves, as mine is hopefully doing now as we go through. And yeah, everything will go well. For now, this is my bullet journal for March. So my lovely little pop-up garden, my quotes, and then each week. So as always, I thank you for being here and watching the video. Please feel free to share it with other people who might be interested. And I hope to see you again in April. Thanks. Bye.